Hella, I have asked you if you could give a short interview. I think it's now year number 12 that you're here in Tinglev um, uh, for Tai Chi to teach for us. And I thought it would be nice for people to have an impression of different aspects of the Tai Chi, the way you see it, and a little bit about your story and so on. So I have prepared a little bit of questions. Um, of course, we were grateful that you're here. Um, well, maybe you can start telling me a little bit about your own Tai Chi journey.
Okay. Yeah, it's great that I'm here since such a long time, and I really feel welcome. And it's a great place and a high level, and I really enjoy teaching here. Yeah, my Tai Chi journey started almost 40 years ago. I started with Beijing style in Cologne, and um, I just fell in love with it. My body liked it from beginning. I think the posture, my back liked it, my whole body, and I was searching for a kind of meditation, spiritual path, and I felt with Tai Chi I had it all. I had uh, feeling the work with energy. I had movement and meditation. And later I found out that it's also a martial art, and uh, then I liked it also.
Hmm. Compared with the search for different uh, meditation, other kind of things, and you ended up with Tai Chi. What do you think is the overall reason that it was Tai Chi that really attract you?
Okay. Uh,
I mean, compared also maybe to the other things that you are trying to look into.
yes. For some years, I also practiced Zen meditation, and uh, but then I felt I didn't need it anymore because yeah, that was also combined with my former Tai Chi, but with the Huang system, uh, in the Tai Chi, I felt so centered.
Hmm.
I didn't need the quiet sitting anymore. Uh, I like the flow. I like it that you move, but you relax, and you feel all the time, and the movements get more subtle and internal.
Mm. So you like the internal.
Yes, I like the internal.
Mm. Maybe that's a question for people who might not be as experienced as you. This question about internal, external. It's of course compared to martial art. Something is external, you see it, other things are internal, and Tai Chi is called an internal form.
Mm.
So, in your opinion, the difference, so that people might have an
Yeah,
understanding of it.
yeah, yeah. I think in the external martial arts, you use speed and muscular force, and in Tai Chi, we try to use the relaxation of the muscles, creating the movements. Of course, we also need speed, but I think a relaxed muscle can even be faster. And when also the mind relaxes, we are completely relaxed. We can react to a force faster and
Mm.
faster.
Mm.
And then we don't need to go against. We get the ability really to take a force down and give it back from the earth, from the ground.
So that's kind of the difference.
Yeah.
That intern is taking it in for giving it back.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Well, now you say you have about 40 years of experience in Tai Chi. So if you knowing what you know today, and because that's often a question for me, when I started to teach, having new students compared with old experienced students, I think it will be nice if we can have a kind of understanding what would be useful for beginners in training Tai Chi compared to those who have been training a little bit longer, maybe even compared to those who are very experienced in Tai Chi. If you should start up to date, will you do the same as you did in the beginning?
Oh, that's a good question. I think nowadays the Tai Chi you can learn is much more refined, and you can learn a bit faster, but still you need to go step by step. You need the grounding, you need the structure, you need to let go into the structure again and again, and you need to develop the consciousness about your movements, about the awareness, what is happening inside. And that takes time and dedication and practice.
There's always a challenge for new people.
Yes, it
because
is.
there's a lot of effort
It is.
to put into it.
It is,
Yeah.
but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, I'm very happy when I have young people coming. Many students often come, but usually they don't stay long. But still, I think I plant a seed when they come for some months and train with me. And maybe they go to another city and they try something else, but maybe they come back.
Yeah. Also, if people have tried it, they might not. They don't go out and speak bad about Tai Chi normally. No, but they, of course, very fast get the feeling that it's quite an effort.
That's right.
Quite an
That's
effort,
right.
Yeah. In a Tai Chi way, understanding, what will a typical day for you? How do you use Tai Chi in your daily life? And do you train? Do you use it in your daily life when you go in the kitchen, or you know what I mean?
Yes,
So
yes.
how does it influence on your daily life?
Yeah.
Not when you teach, but for yourself personally.
Yeah. Of course, I love my training every morning, and after training, I feel more relaxed. I feel more open-minded, and
So you do
more
train.
in my body. I do train.
Every
I try
morning.
to do it every day, and it makes me stay flexible. I think in these strange times, we don't know what will come and how we will be able to teach or to train in the next years. I think we need so much flexibility, and
You
being
mean also
able
to adapt
to
in the
deal,
society?
to adapt with the situations, with the changes.
It's a nice thing that Tai Chi actually, through movement, can learn us how to react in society aspects.
Yes, we learn to react,
Yeah.
to deal with things, with forces, but also with situations.
Yeah.
So it can also influence our communication.
What should we tell new students when it's so they get the feeling of that Tai Chi is a kind of difficult to learn? Do we have any thoughts about? I mean, like you met Tai Chi and you fell into it from the beginning. You loved it from the beginning, but maybe not a lot of people have a lot of struggle. They know that it's good for them, but it's difficult to get into it, and they feel maybe it's difficult to learn the form and so on. Do you have some advices or any thoughts about for those lovely people?
Yeah. I try to make it easy for them.
Yeah.
And also nowadays I have mainly mixed groups, so the beginners have to drop in with the advanced students.
You mean that's an advantage for each and every one?
It's both, but
yeah.
but for most students, they tell me, oh, they really enjoy that, because also my advanced students, they like to show them and to train with them. And so I think that's an advantage. And of course, I like to show, I think, the little things. So they see, okay, the form is long, the form is difficult to learn. But then I say, okay, just try to follow, you don't need to do it right. Feel how you flow with the movement and step by step. I think most important is that they find an enjoyment in the practice, in the learning.
There's a kind of structure in the Tai Chi. I mean, not only a body structure, but there's also a structure in learning, isn't it?
Yes.
It's a kind of step way to get into it. For both those people who don't know, there's exercise you do your own where you don't move that much, and then there's the form, and then there's the partner work and so on. A kind of step for people to get into it. Do you have any thoughts about what benefit? The loosening exercises and the benefit of the form, the benefit of the partner work and so on. That could be interesting for you. See how you think about that.
Yeah. I think you need them all, but of course, for the beginning, the loosening exercises are most important to find into it. I started with standing. I really started with standing with my first teacher, and for me that was really good and fast. But so I tell my students, do the exercises at home that you like, because then you practice, and don't do too much. Do as much as you really like to do in your everyday life.
So we should not demand so much from people.
No, not too much.
Yeah. Well.
But of course, first you need the grounding.
Yeah.
You need the structure. You need a stance.
Yeah.
And then the relaxation and the sinking. These are important steps.
The words we are talking about, no, I think it's a bit difficult for people who don't know so much about Tai Chi to understand what it even is.
Right.
But for those who do, I think it could be interesting also to hear you talk about. We have a short form, we have a long form, and we have a refined form. If we think of just about the forms that in our form of Tai Chi. Maybe a little bit on your thoughts about short form, long form, refined form, and maybe in comparison to one another.
Okay. If you like to train the forms, of course, the long form is great, because you have at least 20 minutes for a form, and that's a nice training. So you stay with this flowing movement, and so you have a lot of benefit from this long form. But of course, I usually start with the short form, and the short form is what I mainly teach. And the refined form, we have a different way how we move in the refined form. It's a shortcut about the sinking, dropping, and releasing the force. So it's all in one, release by sinking.
Do you have
And
to have a certain level to get the benefit of the refined
yes,
form compared to
yes,
the others?
of course, of
So
course.
short form, long form is more groundwork, basic
Yes,
work,
yes.
and the way of learning the form also maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And also sometimes people who learn the refined form, then in the short form they do the same movements. That's not the right way. You need both.
Yeah. I do have one thing more about the push hands. We call it push hands. Maybe it's a little bit of a misunderstanding because of the push is not really a push, but that's a translation from the Chinese to the English. But that's what we call partner work, push hands. And why is it important that we do push hand when we do Tai Chi? Because I have the experience that some people don't like to get as close because you really get close to another person. And they kind of is a little bit restricted about this, and but anyway, we know that it's important, but why is it important?
Yeah, I always have to gently lead students to the partner work and I like it because very easily you can show them why it's important, because without external pressure you think, oh, I'm upright, I'm relaxed, but if you can with one finger get them out of balance, then they feel, oh, something's wrong. I need to find the centers of my feet, I need to find my connection to the earth, I need to get a better structure. And when they experience that, they find out, oh, it helps me in my form, it helps me in my whole practice, and that also helps in life. They feel more stable and relaxed and can deal.
So you mean it transfers into life, into
Yes,
daily life?
with external forces. I think so.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
What I hear you say, maybe you can correct me if not, but it sounds in my ears something about that. That's a way making push and learning people to make push and makes them curious.
Yes.
Because without the partner work, maybe you don't have the quite experience what Tai Chi actually is.
Yes.
And doing partner work, you get if you get out of balance. Oh, you know it's about balance. And why do I don't have my balance? And
yeah, maybe
so it makes
I'm
people
a
curious.
small old woman, and maybe young people are impressed when I just can uproot them easily.
Yeah.
And they know I don't use force, and they feel it, and they want to get it. I think that's.
But we have to get the fight out of it.
Yes, yes.
It's easy to get into a certain state of mind to I want to overcome the other one. That's right.
Yes.
Because that's not really part of it.
So, but we can, as teachers, we can deal with that, because they all resist in the beginning, and then they feel, oh, it's much nicer not to resist, and it's not a big thing to get pushed.
Oh, it's a great experience, actually.
Yes.
When you get a good push.
It's fun.
It's fun. Yeah. Well, that was pretty much that. That had kind of in a short way to get around what Tai Chi is all about and why people like us is doing that almost all our life. So, well, I thank you very much, Hella, and hopefully we can get a lot of more times with Tai Chi together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jacob.
Good.